not just in the wrestling business, but on earth, Caden is one of my favorites. So it means a lot to me to be able to do this for him tonight. I was introduced to Caden when he was training to become a professional wrestler, and I was there for his first match. Didn't take long for me or anybody else to realize and notice that there was something really special about Caden. Something that made fans really hate him, and wrestlers really love wrestling in the ring with him. I'd be up here longer than I'm sure Jock Sampson was last year if I was to go over all the accolades that Caden had. So it'd just be easier to say, if Caden Assad wrestled somewhere more than once or twice, he probably held a title and was a featured talent there. If you ever bump into somebody who knows Caden personally and has a bad thing to say about him, you probably shouldn't trust that person. Also, send them my way because I'd like to have a talk with them. As awesome as Caden was in the ring, being the evil Iraqi that everybody hated, he was just as awesome of a person outside the ring. So I'd like to share just a couple of my favorite Caden stories that show how great a person he is. I always had a history of being a little bit of a prankster on road trips, in locker rooms, anywhere that there was an audience and somebody to prank. I like to have my fun. For a period of time, I liked to de-pants people at wrestling practice, and I thought it was awesome. And one day I arrived at wrestling practice at the Big Guns Training Academy, and former World Wrestling superstar Robbie Starr was just frustrated and angry. Like I had pranked him, but I wasn't even there yet. And I asked him what happened, and he said, I was standing on the apron, and Caden de-pantsed me. So he stole my gimmick. I was irate, and I decided by the end of practice, I was going to get Caden. Sure enough, at the end of practice, Caden was standing on the apron watching action in the ring, and I saw my chance. So I ran over, and I yanked his pants down, only to see shorts that had written on them, F you, Madrox. He got me really good, and I couldn't even be angry about it. Another story that shows a side of him that he may not like me sharing. We used to regularly wrestle for a company in Circleville, Ohio. In fact, we were there every Sunday. The crowds weren't very large. It was the same 25 to 30 fans every week, but we had a lot of fun going there. And everybody, as usual, hated Caden. And because I was tagging with Caden, they hated me as well. But there was one fan that just loved us. And he was there every week, and he, come to find out, was a very sick young man. And one night, after the show, his mom pulled us aside and said, hey, thank you guys. It's the best part of this week to see you. And Caden got a hold of me later that week and said, I have an idea. Caden said, let's get rain jackets made and make one for him. And we'll have him walk us to the ring. So we did. And the look on his face was just priceless. But Caden doesn't advertise those kind of things. The last story is about Caden's last match. I quit wrestling in October of 2014, and by early 2016, Jeff Cannon, Caden's trainer, had announced that he would be wrapping up his in-ring career. And Caden asked me to come back for one last match and tag with him. So I knocked the ring rust off and trained a little bit and went back because Caden didn't tell anybody but me that that was going to be his last match as well. But he didn't want to steal Jeff's thunder, and he didn't want the hoopla that goes along with what is usually your last match. He just kind of wanted to put his hat on and ride off into the sunset, and he did. Caden was an amazing wrestler, the best tag partner that a guy could ask for, and an outstanding travel partner, even though I had to learn how to tell Caden time, which means plus or minus 45 minutes. Caden Assad continues to be a great friend, an awesome father and husband, and one of my favorite human beings on earth. my privilege to announce the newest member of the World Wrestling Hall of Fame, my friend, Garrison.
That's going to be hard to follow, probably. I thought I was going to kind of wing it. And then on the way up, I realized that he had wrote some stuff out really rare stuff. So, in a hurry, I'm going to write up, actually, the back. And I Googled best ways to make acceptance speeches and tips and clues on how to do that. So we're down a whole few bullet points. So bear with me. One said start with a funny joke to break the ice. Don't have time to come up with something there. So the second one said, thank your God and let people relate to your value system. I guess I'll move on from there. To be serious, get into it. It's a big honor to be here, obviously. There's people here, I don't want to get into too much. There's people here that's, I'm here, I get this reward, and there's people out here, and certainly all these names have been with us so much longer. It's a great honor. A lot of people have dreamt about this as a dream, I'm going to be honest. They weren't a dream at all. And that kind of feels like something that is rare, but I never even considered it to be an option to do something like this. You see something on TV back in the day, watch it with your family, watch it with your dad. Never even considered that something like this to be an option. I was in the early 20s, at a wrestling school, had a championship wrestling. I was shocking. A lot of people, a lot of talent, between there and here, still do. It just kind of fell into that being a possibility. As soon as I realized it was possible, I was already training, meeting amazing people. One of them, Jeremy Madrox there. Obviously, great tag partner, always taking care of me if I'm not prepared, great. He'll come up with the majority of the work, do the talking, and have other matches as well. Can't tell you how many times I've been April asking what our game plan was, because I was trying to figure out what would be best for me to do next. You guys are amazing. All these wrestlers are amazing. If I talk about, obviously some of the talent, for example, Matt Taylor is one of those guys that OCW and I feel the same way about that, actually. We have been through insert develop. It did not get the way it should, but it does at the time. I always take that back, too. But, there's, Jeff Keenan, the trainer Jeff, a lot of these names in the past, the people that I hung out and rolled with, the rest of them, you guys are those names. Matt Mason, Matt Taylor, probably wrote a bullet point in your whole. Jim here, John Renee came up here tonight. There's guys out here, and there's people here I don't even know their names, but I've watched them in person, but I've watched them in their videos, and they're amazing, and I've watched their stuff. There's times, like a year out of wrestling, I thought, man, I'd like to get back into wrestling, and then I literally watched videos from the world, videos from these matches, and the guys that are doing this now are so incredible. It's a good decision, I need to try. People are still sacrificing their health and their time and the time with families. You guys are all amazing. If I was going to Yeah, I would just say that I always view the risk as one of the things. Everybody always asks me, do you miss it? And then I always say, you probably miss hanging out with everybody. And I really do. I miss performing in front of the fans. I miss hanging after the show with friends and making new friends, almost like family. But I keep those two separate. And those, everybody here, we're asking to have this many fans for this many years to give me an opportunity to do this. Props to you. There's other companies that are like that. I think you know one of them. Please support them. Please support these guys. And thank you guys very much.
What's up, man? Before I get started, I just want to thank some people. I want to thank, first of all you fans. Because all these guys sitting out here, all these guys getting inducted today, we do this because of you guys. We were you guys, and that's what got us started in this business. We love you guys coming out here and supporting the fans of the years, so thank you very much. I also want to thank Christine and Tom. I want to thank you guys for putting an event like this on. For honoring the guys who come and sacrifice ourselves. You don't have to do it, and the fact that you do is awesome. Thank you guys very much. It's weird, as much as I like to talk, I don't know why I'm nervous with this stuff. I love talking about stuff. But I get a little nervous. Next, I want to thank Hollow Stars Family. They're up there. I want to thank you guys for sharing your father and your husband with me for the last 18 years. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I know Ronnie, Paul's wife, and a lot of your female friends became my exes, but something happened and we worked out for quite a long time, so I appreciate that. You know, Paulo started on the very second show the war ever done. And I feel like Apollo had 4 really great runs with this company, and I was lucky enough to be there for 2 of them. So like I said, it was the very second show that they had, and Apollo had a feud with another War Hall of Famer named Brian Ireland. And yes, give it up for Brian Ireland. And that feud propelled the young Apollo star to become one of the fan favorites here at War. And I was lucky enough for him to do that, and he helped brought me in here as well. And we took on that nasty villain, Sam Farmer. Does anybody here remember Sam Farmer? First lap, money you were going. We took on Hot Seat Productions, and we put Sam Farmer right on out of here. Then we had a tag team run as associates, some of you know me, huh? We had some epic battles with War Hall of Famers like Delivery, guys like the Highlanders. It's all guys like Matt Striker and Chad Palmer. Chad Palmer and Nigel Dennis. Matt Striker and Ella Hussein as the Jihad. We took them all along, and those were great times. Then Apollo came back and had a great singles run and became the world heavyweight champion. We had some great teams and team with Matt and Cody Hawk. Those guys had a great time together and they put out some really good matches in front of everybody. And we were lucky enough to have one more round of soul shooters. And we came in to take on the next generation, the guys like the Dirty. Yeah. I see you also,
Yes, he does.
guys like the Scarbonis. We have a lot of great matches with new generation guys like Super Future. Guys like the Army guys over there called the, you guys remember that, I don't remember. But anyways, we had a lot of good times. When I think about world wrestling, I think about guys like Steve Lee. I think about guys like Dustin Pilgrim, sitting on the hood. I think about guys that paved the way for the females here at World Wrestling, guys like Hunter Owens. And there's one more guy I always think about. It's my honor and my pleasure to induct him with the World Hall of Fame, my brother, Apollo Sticky Stone.
How y'all doing? Well, of course, I'm not going to talk as long as you guys. I got to be used to that. I just want to, man, this, stuff like this is way, like, out of what I expected from wrestling. Like I said, I wanted to have, my goal was to have one real match. You know what I mean? One real match, man. Here I am, what, 18 years later? You know what I'm saying? Getting put in somebody's Hall of Fame, that's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? I remember one time we did this deal where my son was involved in this thing we did. And I was getting jumped by the International House of Pain, which included Kate Masai and Ashley Six and Ethan Page and Psycho Mike Rollins. And they jumped me. And the deal was, my boy was gonna come in and watch him jump me. And he was gonna suffer with me. By the way, my boy, stand up, boy. So he was supposed to be in there watching them beat me up. And they're all in there beating me up. And I'm like, where's the boy? And Ashley Six says, he ain't in. I said, well, go get him. He says, I didn't know what happened until I watched the tape. My boy got thrown into the ring. And is Jamie here? Security guard Jamie? No, he's not here. Jamie didn't know what was going on. So he snatched him out of the ring. Six went out to go get my boy, and the fans had surrounded him. The fans protected my son. The World Wrestling fans protected my kid from wrestling. But, you know what I mean? That blew my mind. So ever since then, World Wrestling's been my place, man. I'm a war guy. Anybody who knows me can tell me that.
You know what I mean? The kind of guy that I am, to protect my family gives you a spot in my heart. You feel me? And War Wrestling protecting my family, and War Wrestling has a spot in my heart forever. I want to thank my biological family, my little babies. Thank you for being with me through all this. I want to thank you. Do all this too. And I want to thank all of you, man. Every one of you, I want to thank all of you. Because without y'all, this don't happen. I want to thank all of you for sure. Because without you, this don't happen. I appreciate anybody who's ever gave half a damn that I came off the curb. Thank you so much. I've been blessed.
The War Wrestling Hall of Fame. Well, I only got voted twice in war, and both times was to induct somebody into the Hall of Fame. Never once was to wrestle. You know what that means though is I may not be that cool, but I get to know really cool people. And there's not anybody cooler than hardcore Heather Owens. I can sit up here and I can talk about all the titles she's won, all the awesome things she's done. But the fact of the matter is, she married me and gets my credit, so. But no, Heather is awesome. The first woman inducted into the War Wrestling Hall of Fame. When I first met Heather, she was just a young, cute, blonde referee who said all she wanted to do was be a professional wrestler. Fast forward all these years later, she got to do a hell of a job at it. So I'm not going to be as long-winded as everybody else. I'm kidding, they're all great speeches. But I can sit here and talk all day, but you guys really want to hear Heather. Give it up, she's awesome, she's my life tag team partner. Give it up for hardcore Heather Owens.
Sorry, unlike some of these people, I got a whole thing to say. September 8th, 1997. Cincinnati Gardens, World Wrestling Federation presents Raw is War. That's where it's all started. I was 13 years old and I had never seen a wrestling show before. My dad got free tickets, so me, along with my entire class of boys, we ended up going nosebleed section, and I had no was treated like one of the boys. That is what I wanted to do. That's who I wanted to become. So I started to go to the gym, eat better, research where I could go to learn to wrestle. I don't know if you guys remember, but back in the day, they had wrestling magazines with a very back page, listed all the wrestling schools you could call. Well, I called them. Well, I called one. And they were like, no, you're only 16. You know, call us when you're 18. That was NWF. They're law students. So fast forward to August 2002. I had just graduated from high school and decided it was time to finally start my dream of becoming a professional wrestler. I walked through the front door of the Heartland Wrestling Association. Sadly, I only stayed a few months because I picked a boy over wrestling. Wasn't him. You know, so I look back and I always wonder, you know, if I would have stayed, how things would happen. But, I mean, everything happens for a reason. So 2.5 years later, I'm working out at Gold's Gym and I'm approached by a man that was wrestling for HWA. That man was known as the other dark meat guy. Yeah, only a few of y'all know about it. God love him though. So I told him I was thinking about coming back to wrestling and he told me about a show around Healthy. Check it out. So I started back my journey in May 2005 with a company called Queen City Wrestling. After only a few months, I got word that Cody Hawk in the HWA was interested in having me train with them. So I don't know if this, you know, would happen, but I was back home. HWA is my heart. That is where I started. That's my home. So, I'm going to talk here. So I was intimidated, super intimidated to go back because I'm training with people like Matt Stryker, Nigel McGuinness, and Drew the Don Skills. So month after month, I learned the ins and outs of wrestling, actually started refereeing. Refereeing is super awesome. Yeah, it gets cooler. December 30th, 2005. I show up to one of the biggest shows of the year, just expecting to be a ref. That show was World War III, HWA versus NWF, 2 wrestling rings, and a 70-man battle royal. Spoiler alert, I won. So how it goes down is I show up and Cody pulls me to the side and he tells me I'm going to win the battle royal. Excuse me? Me? I didn't even wrestle a real match and I'm going to win this battle royal? Yeah, surprise. Thanks Cody. So the whole thing was all the HWA girls completely dressed in black, masks, everything. Go out there, 60 boys, beating them down. Gets down to 10. Everybody in black. Boom, big reveal. It's all a bunch of chicks. So next thing I know, it's down to 3. Me, AJ Sparks, and Helena Heavenly. I see them over there and they're going, trying to get each other out of the ring. Boom. I dump them out. And I am the That was the moment that I became a pro wrestler. Okay. So I know all of you guys want to hear some crazy road stories, but this is a child show. I can't discuss any of those things. But I can tell you about the one time that I crowd surfed in my wrestling attire. So there was a show at a place called River Bend in Cincinnati, and there was a wrestling show, part of a music festival called Manifest. And it was so hot out, we had to wrestle in the sun, no tent, on black vinyl. It was really gross. So it was me and little Monty, and I told her, hey, my favorite band is about to go on, so let's go really fast. So I And that was like so awesome. I'm like, damn, yeah, who's this chick? Where the hell she come from? So I'm in the pit, and then all of a sudden I'm like, you know, I'm gonna do this. And that crowd surfed. No, it's so ridiculous. But I don't know. You guys have been there. I don't know. It was fun for me. Well, I've accomplished a lot in my 13 years. I've wrestled in 11 states. I've worked as an extra for WWE on 4 occasions. I've wrestled against some of the best in the world and some of the not so best in the world. I've won numerous championships, including boy belts. Let's see. I wrestled under mask. I wrestled in convention, and I even wrestled in midget. I've been so blessed. I truly cannot express my gratitude for wrestling. But anyway, first off, I want to thank Big Tom for giving me a chance to prove him and others like him wrong about my life. Tom has given me so many amazing opportunities, and I am forever in his debt. Thank you to fans. Whether you booed me or cheered me, you guys are amazing. And one of the biggest compliments that I've ever gotten is when someone comes up to me and saying that I've inspired them. There is no greater thing than that, so thank you guys so much. Thank you to Cody Hall, my trainer and my friend. Thank you for always pushing me and carrying me like my voice. Thank you to this guy. Thank you for always allowing me to be myself. We don't always have the same view on a lot of things, but it doesn't matter. You make me laugh when I'm sad, you support me through all of my random shenanigans, and you even let me call you a son of a bitch sometimes. Lastly, thank you to my mom. Mom, where are you? I know you're here. Oh, there. She was at my first match, and she was at my last match. She's even here tonight. She's always believed in me and supported me. Though I look back, you know, my past and some of my phases, I don't know how you could have dealt with me, but you did, and I appreciate it. You are the best mom ever, and I love you. Whatever you do in your life, make sure you love yourself. Believe it or not, but growing up, I was bullied. I was bullied because of my weight, the way I dressed, the music I listened to. In high school, I was just known as the fat juggalo wrestling chick that wore all black that sat in the back of the class. It took me years to finally accept who I was. I look back and I know that every single time I was put down, it pushed me a little bit further to success. There are still days when I look at myself in the mirror and put myself down like this kid said. The struggle is real. I have battled with anxiety and depression for most of my adult life, but thankfully, I've been blessed to have a truly amazing support team in my life. Life can be a struggle, but know that you're not alone and don't be afraid to ask. We must support each other, stop putting down people because of their race, their gender, their religion, nationality. We are all unique and can all contribute something to society. Be different, be unique, and be you. Thank you guys.
I'm trying to wrap this up because I've been on the other side. Tonight, I'm here to induct a man that has retired 4 times and Terry Funk. The one and only Dusty Dillinger into the World Wrestling Hall of Fame. Whether I was in this corner or on the other side of the ring from him, I have always respected him. So when he asked me if I would induct him, I told him I'd be honored, but my feelings wouldn't be hurt if he found somebody better. He informed me there's nobody better, and this is why. He said he started being Dusty about the same time I came into the business. And we all know Tom and Chris are the heart of pro wrestling, but to me, without a doubt, Dusty Dillinger is the soul. And I know you're thinking he wasn't always Dusty Dillinger. No. Like many other performers, he went through a lot of different changes and names. He wasn't always Dusty. He got started as a commentator by the name of Brilliant Bobby Baker. Having no real knowledge of pro wrestling other than being a fan, sounds vaguely familiar. He wrestled under other, oh sorry, I lost my place. Then someone said, hey, wouldn't it be cool if Bob could take a bump? Which Bob responded, no. But he was talked into it, and for $2,250, he trained at the Body Slingers Gym with Al Snow. It was 8 weeks, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. After his first day, he couldn't move. He covered himself in a gallon and a half of icy hot. And although he didn't want to go back, he had to, because they had TV and he still had to do it. And he knew they would never let him live it down if he quit. After he completed his training, he stayed and trained at Body Slingers Gym for 2 more straight years, where he would see guys like Truth Martini and Sweet Stevie Lee become pro wrestlers and later War Wrestling Hall of Famers. His first match was a Battle Royal, where he donned the mask and took the name Lucky Haskins. Later, he had his first one-on-one match with another Hall of Famer, Casey Thunder, again under a mask. But this time, he would be called Super Ninja Number 3. He didn't want to do it because he felt he wasn't ready, and he, in fact, can hear him blown up on the audio of the match. From there, he would also take on characters of Cryptic Lee, the arch nemesis Nick Cage, and one of the Gorilla Assassins. It was nothing for him to be in 5 matches on an 8-match card. Having to have different actions, movements for each character he was portraying, as not to give away to the fans that they were seeing the same guy in a different mask, but rather different wrestlers. I don't know how many guys today could pull that off, if any. It was at an event at a country concert in the hills, he would reinvent himself again. This time he would become the wrestling rodeo clown Dusty Bottoms. However, this would be short-lived. He would face Smoke the Clown with a stipulation the loser could no longer be a clown. Long story short, he lost. So then, he just started going by the name Dusty, being a cowboy. Now, I was at the gym, and Dusty went down training with Dusty Rhodes. It was there the American dream said, only one person can go by the name Dusty, and you ain't. So after seeing something about the anniversary of John Dillinger robbing the bank here in Lima, Ohio, Dusty Dillinger was born in 2000. World Wrestling started in 2003 and Dusty was on the roster from day one. He has been in every kind of match there has been in war. Cage matches, ladder matches, all-out war matches, war games, scaffold, hardcore. He's been the war champion and tag team champion. You name it, he's done it. One of his favorite matches was a steel cage match with his fellow Hall of Famer, David Saab. His battle with Dexter Dementia helped build this promotion. And his feud with Sweet Stevie Lee could have main evented any show, anywhere. He has worked for WWE, WCW, ECW, ROH, and TNA. No one in the history of war wrestling has made a crowd feel emotion more than this guy. He can go from being the greatest hero 1 minute and become the most hated the next. If you were in a feud with him, it elevated you in the eyes of these fans. I saw him in a tag match with Buck Bagwell as his partner, and the fans chanted his name. I also walked out of the Civic Center to a chant of F.U. Dusty. Dusty Dillinger started off as your run-of-the-mill cowboy gimmick. But over the years, Dusty and the man Bob became one and the same. Dexter Dementia always says, Dusty isn't a gimmick, it's Bob. They're all the way up. And he's loud and has a million thoughts a minute, and sometimes all at once. You may not like some of the things he says, but that doesn't mean he's wrong. He will always help anyone in business. I am living proof of that. He's the first guy to work with me as a commentator. He's the first guy to get me booked as a manager in other places. A lot of wrestlers say they love the business, but Dusty truly does. That's why when he talks to the younger talent, he gets excitable. Because this business was entrusted to him and his brothers and sisters by those that came before him. It was put upon them to keep it going, so men and women around that ring right now could do the same. I know he didn't leave the ring on his own terms, and I'm sure he's probably got one last ride in him. With that, it's my extreme pleasure to induct my friend, my brother, the original war outlaw, Dusty Dillinger.
He covered a lot of stuff about getting started and all that, but realistically, the whole thing, professional wrestling, kind of, it changed me 100%. And I think my first wife could tell you that. I was totally different from the time I got with her to after. And she was excited about it. So, my first wife, Missy, when we first got started, she'd go around on shows, work the concession, all that stuff, and irritate the piss out of me. But
But wrestling did change me. And I'm saying it's for the good and bad, and what it ended up doing was, I believe it made Bob what he was always intended to be, which is this right here. Somebody who likes to come out for a while, y'all, make you feel good, make you forget about your problems for a minute. Come in and enjoy yourself. That's what it's all about after all, right? That's what I'm doing. I said, the bars, everybody, they did a little bit of work, as little as possible. And my second wife, Keely, who's over there too, she's put up with a lot of bullshit for me. I brought late nights because I don't know when to shut the hell up. And a lot of these guys out here saying I get locked out of the hotel room at 6:30 in the morning because they want to go to sleep. And I said, they tell them, they got 450 boys, I'll show them how a man does it. But, and he said, you know, I've been in WWE rings, WCW rings, ECW, but the ring is what the most to me, is that right there, in front of all you. I thank more wrestling for the honor. I thank all you fans for the privilege to be able to get into that ring and do what I'm going to do. I've been able to do it for over almost a year now. Had some stuff going on. So, you know, I don't really feel like I belong up here. I feel like I belong there. So, I don't know. When and if that does get to happen again, oh, I got something here. I gotta pull it up. Now, hold this, and I gotta do my glasses too. Is that what it is? Thank you. Let's see. I don't even know what I did with it. I had it set up, and then I must have touched my phone or something. So, yeah, so then win. A great American poet once said, "Don't call it a comeback, I've been here for years, rocking my peers, and suckers in fear, because I am more wrestling, and I am